What's up, what's up? Welcome to Stick It. My name's Lindsey Leigh Hobson. I'm an inspirational speaker and marketing professional who is starting a revolution for young adults. And I'll be honest, I've never done a Facebook Live before. I've been in marketing and biz dev for 7 years and I've managed to go this long without doing one. So why now? Because now is the time, and there are moments in life who change who you are. And for me, one of those moments was when I was 16. When I was 16, I actually decided to take my own life. And that began when my parents got divorced at 11. And they sat me down at the kitchen bench, and my dad was in tears, and I'd never seen him cry before. And my mum, being the beautiful human that she is, said to me, "We still love you, and don't worry, it's definitely not your fault." And I went, "My fault? Could this be my fault? And if this is my fault, what else could be my fault?" I just never considered that possibility before. So 5 years later, in a series of unfortunate events, anxiety got really bad. I started drinking a little bit before bed just to be able to sleep. Couldn't get through a full day of school without being in tears. It just kept coming back to me that all this unhappiness in life is potentially because of me. And I thought, if I'm hurting the ones that I love and they're not happy and it's my fault, then take me out of life and everyone can live happily. So I did what all people logically do when you make a decision like that, and I started tidying my bedroom. And I was stuffing clothes into that cupboard, and a thought ran through my head, just one, and it was, what if you're wrong? What if this isn't your fault? And what if your only responsibility in any of this was your choice to participate or not? So I clung on to that thought, and it's become a moment that's changed the rest of my life. A week later, I moved out of home, and I moved around a little bit. I was with my gran for a while. I did move back in with my mum. I moved in with a friend, became a beauty therapist when I graduated high school. And I did graduate, which I was really proud of. All I could work on was skin deep. That's all I could muster. I couldn't admit to myself what had happened or what I thought about doing and the decision I had made, let alone tell anybody else. It was a secret that I kept to myself. And I'm driving to my beauty job one day, and an ad comes on the radio for training to be a life coach. And me, being Curious George, went and looked that up. What the hell is that? Never heard of this before. And I'm doing my research, and about 10 minutes into it, I go, that is the stupidest career I have ever heard. 5 weeks later, I was enrolled. That's how I roll. And 6 weeks after that, I had started my life coaching business. I loved it. I loved being in business. I loved talking to people. I loved coaching. I loved making a difference. But I wasn't ready to take ownership of my story yet. And so through this experience, I learned that I love speaking. I love professional speaking. That's where my passion for it came from. But I didn't have anything to say, and people kept telling me, share your stories. You know, people connect with people. You'll build rapport if you share who you are. I couldn't do that. I couldn't tell anyone what had happened. A few of my nearest and dearest knew, but that was it. So inevitably, the business failed. So I went back to full-time work, and I moved in with my high school sweetheart, and we bought a house, and I had the cat and the picket fence and everything. And during that time, I came up with maybe 100 different business ideas, but it was never the right time, or we were never able to do it. We had other priorities. And after 11 years of being with this beautiful man, we grew apart. And during a series of unfortunate events, my cat died. Heartbreaking. My gran died. I had a car accident, and a whole heap of other things. I had nothing left. I had to look at myself. That was all there was left to do, was take a long, hard look at who I was and what I wanted. There was no hiding in my relationship. There was no hiding in alcohol. There was no hiding in work. There was just nothing. And I realized it's always been a fear of mine that I'll get to the end of my life and regret all of the things that I haven't done. And if I want to get there, first I have to be honest about where I am and who I am and what I have been through. So I did. And weeks later, I'm been asked to speak at a conference internationally, share this story that I'm now sharing with you. I'm co-chairing the same conference that's running in Melbourne in February. Speaking has suddenly come out of the woodwork, and most importantly, where my heart is at is Stick It. I'm starting a revolution for young adults who have asked themselves, like I have, is this it? Is this all there is? And who have found themselves options in front of them, laying in bed awake at night going, I don't know what to do. I want to make a difference, but I'm afraid that if I start something, it won't work, and I'll get to the end of my life and I'll regret all the things I didn't have. Or most importantly, I'll start something and it doesn't live up to everybody else's expectations. I want to make everybody proud. I want to make me proud. So Stick It is this revolution that I am beginning for young adults, where we can take on the world. And do you know what? We're young and we don't have to have all the answers, but what we do have to know is that we want to begin. So Stick It is for those who are ready to break the mold. And it is my aim to empower 1 million young adults around the world to break the mold. By dropping one drop into the ocean myself, I can hopefully spread that beyond, but I can't do it without you. So I've committed to doing 5 Facebook Lives a week, from 0 to 5 a week, to take you on this journey with me. I'm only just beginning, and together I'm hoping that we can make a difference, and we can reach out to these young adults, and we can share the word that whilst you don't need to know where you're going yet, it's important to take ownership of who you are now. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow, and welcome to Stick It.